It's November 14th. I am Mark Stewart, candidate for governor, and I want to talk about reliance on government. We have too much of it. The FDA is a really good example of a group that we rely on for protection that can't be any better than the mass of evaluators in its place. Who were those masses? Well, in the old days, it was 3, maybe 4 publications. They could rate things like cars, the safety of cars. We had some very good magazines. They'd come out every month or every quarter. They would assess them for their speed, their safety. We've never done that with the FDA because the government has subsumed that role. But here's the problem. No government agency is any better than the people that staff it. And in some ways, it's worse. So as well-meaning, as wise, as diligent as government workers within an agency might be, they have politically compromised jobs. The FDA itself is besieged by drug companies that are trying to get an edge in approvals being made or made speedier. Now, think about today's better approval system. The mass of humanity who can comment through websites about how effective that drug has been for them. What have the side effects been? How long did it take to cure? Maybe it hasn't been cured. That kind of rating collectively gets us more information faster. And fast is important. Look, FDA approvals take sometimes a decade. Now, if you are suffering from an ailment that a company has a cure for, and it's being held up by any government bureaucracy, you should be furious. You're being forced to go to a different country or commit an illegality that could put you in prison. Now, some people, when it's life-saving, they're going to do that anyway. That's the trade-off. That's the consequences of an FDA that is not going to save your life. You've got to do it for yourself. My prescription: let private entities do the sometimes life-saving work and trust them. They're at the FDA, wiser than individuals. They might have some more expertise, but remember, the expertise that can get compromised now makes facts not as factual. Please remember that a government is no wiser than the people entrusted to run it, no more moral than the people entrusted to run it, and in some ways, maybe less moral because their motivations aren't directly towards saving lives. I will give you the epitome of government trust gone awry. It's the Veterans Administration. Now, who could expect well-meaning and relatively low-paid doctors to be so compromised? But it happened. In more than one spot, the VA was rife with decisions about people's health being made for bureaucratic reasons or crass reasons like bonuses that might get you further promoted. Government should be entrusted for things that private entities cannot do as well. And that's very little, okay? Military, courts, potentially environmental protection are the only things that I think the federal government should be doing. Now, state governments are entrusted constitutionally with a lot more, but I think we should use it selectively until we think that there is a real void in the ability of private groups and individuals to protect the public. It is best that the government stay out.